You're watching part 2 of Khabib Nurmagomedov top finishes. Let's get it. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jesse and I'm the founder and grandmaster of MMA, Mexican martial arts. I'm very happy to let you know that this episode is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. More on that later. Last time I gave you fights 1 through 9. Today, it's gonna be 10 through 20. And next time, it's gonna be whichever ones are left. And if you're confused about how I'm making 3 entire videos about Khabib's finishes, and you're like, I don't think he has that many, then watch part 1, where I explain it.
Like this, say, where you at, boy?
I gotta give some props for the way the homie came out right here. He noticed the girls behind him, and he wasn't even trying to get caught up. So he started moving toward the ring with the quickness. Hey, I know what it's like. Like sometimes when you're on Instagram and you gotta scroll through that nonsense real quick. See no evil, double tap no evil. And then sometimes my lady's just walking by, you know, and she happens to glance over my shoulder and she thinks I'm up to no good. Because I was trying to scroll, you know, but then the app glitches.
I'm a victim of circumstance.
It's like my public defender's always telling me. It's about the intent, you know? And that's what I was picking up from this fool right here. He knew exactly what he was doing. And I'm not sure if he was trying to inflict damage or if he was trying to free the ego, if you know what I mean. But Khabib wasn't having it. As a matter of fact, Khabib was so determined to prove that this fool didn't belong in the ring with him that he decided to show everybody. Literally, Agafonov had nothing to offer. He landed some leg kicks here and there, but who doesn't? That's point fighting at its best.
I have to watch how I move, you know, like jab, jab, move, jab, jab. Not hard punch, jab, jab, move, jab. Sometimes take down, jab, move.
By his 11th fight, Khabib was basically the light-skinned Mike Tyson.
My style is impetuous.
All of his opponents were afraid of him from the get, and it seemed like it was a matter of not if, but when he would defeat them. That fool looked like he wanted to be in there less than all of you want to be in your houses right now. And you can see what I'm talking about throughout this short fight. Khalilov was fighting like beginner level CPU, and Khabib was fighting like he always does. Like someone who knows all the cheat codes.
Stay humble, bro.
Khabib's 12th fight was against Ashot Shaginyan. This looks like one of those classic one fool's on his way in, one fool's on his way out matches. This guy knows what I'm talking about. I wasn't feeling this one from the start. This fool looks like he had to gain 20 pounds just to make weight. I was getting those Gadela vibes. There was a moment during the fight where Ashot felt like maybe he had had enough. And Khabib, being the gentleman that he is, gave him a moment to make a decision. I guess Ashot figured that it's better to lose like a winner than to lose like a loser. So he continued. He was still very unhappy though. He didn't want Khabib to raise his hand, and he didn't even want to stick around for the official decision. He stormed out of the ring and slapped the curtain away as he went backstage. Ever the gentleman, Khabib ran backstage to console him.
Hey, we have to finish this beef, chicken or something like this. He have to stop eat Burger Kings.
I've noticed that overseas fights have much more exciting entrances. Very WWE. For a moment, I even thought that Khabib was gonna climb the turnbuckle like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I guess he just needed to stretch. I guess WWE style antics wouldn't have really been appropriate anyway in this dinner theater type of venue. This fight ended up being another example of Khabib's opponents being afraid of him. That fool didn't even want to come out. At this point, we're 13 fights in, and this was the very first time that I saw Khabib get even a little bit rocked. And you could see this fool thinking about capitalizing on it, but just for a split second. By this point in Khabib's career, Kadzhik already knew the danger of trying to tangle with the ego. So he decided to stop right there and be content with his one little punch for the highlight reel. The rest of the fight was Khabib dominating, as usual. And then he put that fool out with a triangle choke, like if he was Chael Sonnen.
You tapped. I saw it.
I want to tell you a little story. The other day I was in line paying for my chicken sandwich, and out of the corner of my eye, I noticed some fool looking at me sideways. And then I started thinking about it. Like, do I know this fool? Have I seen him somewhere? And then I realized, that fool thinks I'm soft, huh? Because I'm getting a chicken sandwich. Well, that fool didn't know that it was spicy. So I started to turn real slowly. And I was gonna let that fool know what's up. And right when my eyes were about to meet his, I realized that he was looking down. And I was like, that's right, fool. Be afraid. Be very afraid. But I noticed that he was simply admiring my Ridge wallet. That fool almost died that day. But the Ridge wallet saved his life. And then after it saves your life, it gives you a lifetime warranty. The Ridge wallet has over 30,000 5-star reviews. You can't leave a review when you're dead, homie. It comes in titanium, carbon fiber, aluminum, and over a dozen different styles and colors. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/Voto. That's ridge.com/Voto and use promo code VOTO. Hey, don't break your neck miring the homie's wallet. Get your own. Please get one.
I know he always talk trash. Like even he just pull out and he keep talking with somebody in Twitter. Hey, shut up. You pull out.
Fans of Khamiz Mamedov blame his loss on the fall that took place right before the fight. But in my opinion, it hurt his pride more than anything else. These girls are coming out in their chonies and high heels while holding flags. And the fighter can't even walk. Mira, he took it out from an inanimate object, Tony Ferguson style. How do you think he did against the eagle? The only thing that concerned me about this fool was that low center of gravity. But that doesn't mean anything if you don't have your equilibrium in check.
This is stupid. You know, when you pull out, you have to stay shut up.
When I went back to look at my notes, I didn't have a single thing written down for this fight. So I watched the fight again, and I remembered why. It was boring. It was the traditional mismatch. Striker versus grappler. And when Khabib took him down, Vadim did what all strikers do. He got him in a headlock and held it until he tired himself out. At which point Khabib advanced to a good position and tapped that fool out. Personally, I don't like to get into the whole mismatch game. I don't believe in it. But anytime someone fights Khabib, that's a definite mismatch.
I feel relaxed. I feel comfortable, you know.
Khabib's 16th fight was against Arymarcel Santos. I already knew it was going to be all bad for him within the first 5 seconds when they cut to him in the corner with his dealer.
Man's not hot.
I think the most notable thing about this fight is that Khabib had a point taken away. And you could tell that he didn't like that because he immediately dropped that fool with a clean left right after. Maybe he should lose points more often.
I'm gonna make him flat, make him tighted, and I want him feel my power, he feel my pressure, and finish him.
This was Khabib's very first fight in the UFC. At this point in the journey, I was feeling like a proud homie. This was also the very first appearance of the papaka, or Khabib hat. John Anik was calling it a wig.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, it really attached to that wig.
Which personally, I thought was disrespectful. This is a wig. He went on to refer to Dagestan as a wrestling mecca.
Dagestan, Russia, Kenny, for those that don't know, really it is a wrestling mecca.
Which I'm sure Khabib appreciated very much, being that he's Muslim. If I was a SJW, I would be having a field day right now. Fortunately, Khabib didn't have to hear any of this because he was focused on the task at hand. And he showed from day one that he's that thing that Joe Rogan always says, that David Goggins always says.
David Goggins likes to call uncommon amongst uncommon men.
Yes.
Because he came out rocking the Asics. Most people were coming out with sandals back in the day, but he was still putting in work backstage up until the last second. Honestly, I was getting a little bit nostalgic at this point. I didn't realize how long ago it was. Bruce Buffer's jacket was only one color. This was also Khabib's very first time fighting inside a cage. I hear a lot of things about Dagestan, and most likely, he probably did fight inside or at least around some cages, but not like this one. He was also gonna be making some money now. Look at all those sponsors on his shorts. Get that money, homie. Another notable thing about this fight is the difference in the commentary.
Look at this brutal ground and pound.
In my opinion, all of the commentary before this fight did not do justice to the Eagle. Also, I don't know Russian, so I could be wrong. Khabib dropped him with a big left hand in the first round and then followed it up with some ground and pound. But he found out that Shalorus was a hard-headed individual. However, he ended up getting the submission in the third round, which you could have had a lot sooner if Yamasaki wasn't biased. In case you didn't realize how long ago this fight was, Khabib still needed a translator, and John Anik still needed a tailor.
This is what I want. Broke his face.
At this point, Khabib is 17-0, dominated his UFC debut, and is still being disrespected.
I don't know what that wig is all about, but he insisted on wearing it in the weigh-ins, and he insists on wearing it here.
Is that a problem, Joe Rogan? I understand that a lot of people don't know this, but the UFC is actually a BJJ propaganda machine. Its very existence was actually manipulated to showcase and promote BJJ.
Because they pick the fighters.
Oh, really? So it sounds to me like it was basically set up for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner
To win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did the UFC do to respond to this Russian Sambo master? They gave him a BJJ black belt, pre-USADA, veteran Gleison Tibau. And you want to know what else they gave him? Mario Yamasaki. And we already know that that fool doesn't like to let Khabib do what he does best. He separated them twice.
That's interesting. Mario Yamasaki decided to break them up. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. I'm sure at this point, you're not surprised to hear how one-sided the commentary was as well. And I'm not just talking about Joe Rogan comparing Khabib to a Russian cartoon character.
I don't know what that wig's all about that he wears walking in, though.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody could ask him. Maybe it's some Russian cartoon character that he enjoys watching.
I think it's the Russian headgear.
I'm talking about the actual fight talk.
But that's just because he's facing a guy that's got a ton more experience than him. And, you know, frankly, has fought better opposition. Gleison simply at this point in the game just seems to be the better fighter. If he loses this fight, which we both think he probably will lose by decision if nothing changes in the next 50 seconds or so, it's a learning experience for this young man.
And the ending says it all.
Wow! Wow, indeed. Whoa.
They had to be all dramatic and act like they couldn't believe that Khabib won. In the end, Khabib dictated the pace, controlled the cage, didn't let Tibau do anything but counterfight here and there, and prevailed over Yamasaki's one-sided officiating. A lot of people trip off this fight, and they think that Tibau won just because he stuffed a lot of takedowns. Mira, Khabib was clearly the aggressor, and he did more damage. However, I understand that it could be confusing, because the judges don't always seem to notice that.
Who's your bodyguards?
Yeah.
Show me these guys.
This one was a piece of cake for Khabib, or tiramisu, if you will. And he didn't even use a single takedown. This was his first fight out of San Jose, and you could already see the fruits of his labor when he decided to let those hands go. In fact, his striking was so impressive that the referee forgot what he was doing there for a moment and got caught admiring. Unfortunately, Khabib wasn't really able to enjoy the win because there was a bunch of haters in the crowd.
Yeah, he caught him with that leaping uppercut, with that lead hand.
But that didn't stop him and his homies from celebrating. His homie did him dirty though.
And still undefeated, 19-0 for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
He's like drunk guy, you know. He's like drunk guy. I feel he's like, his face is like this, you know. He nervous, he drunk.
In his 20th fight, Khabib missed weight, but I don't blame him. Honestly, I kind of think he did it on purpose, just so that he could keep up. Look at that fool. How did he not miss weight? I know the weight didn't miss him. I was getting Royce Gracie versus Chemo vibes. The little grappler that could, and the pre-USADA thick boy. This was also the very first fight in which Khabib didn't fist bump. I know a lot of people say that he never does, because that he's a straight savage in the cage or whatever. But he did for his first 19 fights. But this fight was different. There was some bad blood between these two. And if you're wondering how that affected the fight, it didn't. Khabib simply ragdolled Trujillo, just like he does to everybody else. He completely broke his spirit, which was obvious to everyone, and set a new UFC record with 21 takedowns in a single fight. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop it right here, because as we've already discovered, Khabib simply has too many finishes for just one video, or even two. I'm gonna be coming out with part 3 real soon, which will cover the last 8 fights. I wanna say thank you again to the Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this video. Thank you. I also want to say thank you to all of my patrons for making this possible. I literally couldn't do it without you. And everybody that supported through PayPal, everybody that supports through the Super Chat, through merch, thank you very much. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. Part 1 will be around here somewhere, so you can watch it if you haven't seen it. And then part 3 will be around here at some point when it's finished. But if you're watching this right when this came out, then it's not gonna be here yet. So please come back later and scope it out. Please stay safe out there with the Ridge wallet and stay alive.